For fast, cheap, and reliable Madden 20 Ultimate Team coins, make sure you guys go check out my sponsor U4GM Coins. Use code VENM at checkout for 5% off. Yo, what's good, guys? It's Venom Fire here, back in the video, and today I'm going to be going over my full updated West Coast offensive ebook. Now, I uploaded a couple of these types of videos in the past, but this one's going to be updated with every gun bunch setup that I run, every near close flex setup that has become the meta, and West Coast is becoming the meta again with the resurgence of passing. Now, before I hop into the video, I want to remind you guys to hit that subscribe button. I upload these videos for free for you guys. Hit that subscribe button. If you want to support me another way, you can press that join button for extra tips every month. But I checked the stats, 84% of my viewers last month were not subscribed, so hit that subscribe button, support the channel. And before I get into this video, or before we hop into our first formation, the gun bunch, something that you're going to need when you're running West Coast is you're going to need a slot apprentice or at least one receiver with those extra 4 hot routes. So we got George Kittle. I'm going to be running him in the slot here, as you guys see. And yeah, let's go ahead, hop into the video. It's also better if you do have an escape artist, but you can run it with a pocket passer. We're going to be rocking Jimmy G. So let's go ahead, set our audibles. We got wide receiver post, halfback sweep, mesh post, and deep corner. If you really don't want to run the ball, you can go with deep attack instead of sweep, but let's just go ahead, hop into our first play, deep corner. This is going to be a one-play touchdown as well as just an overall dominant play. Let's go ahead, hop into that now. I'm going to be going over these plays fairly quickly because we do have a lot of plays to go through today. So if you do get a little bit lost, you can always go back to the setups, but I'm not going to spend too much time. I'm not going to go over the same play 5 times. I'm just going to move through a little bit fast. So right off the bat, here's a look at the first setup. So what you're going to do is just put X on a comeback, RB on a hitch, and A on a delay fade. I always put A on a delay fade every play if he's on a block. There's no reason not to. It's just going to make him super good in blocking situations, broken play situations. Just put him on a delay fade. Now, for this one play touchdown, B's going to get open, but we don't want his user to follow the post route, so we need a route that's going to pull him down, and that's exactly what our hitch route's going to do. George Kittle on that hitch, he's going to, usually their user will fall down on the hitch almost always. If they don't, you can always throw it to the hitch, or you can playmaker the hitch. You can do a lot, especially if you have playmaker on this player, or quarterback playmaker, whatever the case may be. But 2 routes you need, deep post and the comeback. You could put RB on whatever you want. You could put him on a whip, you could put him on a drag, you could put him on an out, you could put him on a curl. You could do a lot, but I like to stick with the hitch. And one last thing I'm going to talk about is how to get this chop block. Just slide to the right in this case, double team this player, and ID this player. Running back should chop block. For some reason, it's not showing up. Let's go ahead, snap the ball. Boom. I'm going to try and shuffle out to the right here. Oh my god, we actually just got screamed at. But we still complete the pass, even with a lob pass. I definitely didn't want to do that, but Tevin Coleman didn't chop block for me, so I had to lob it. But again, here's a look at the setup. RB on a hitch, A on a delay fade, X on a comeback. Slide to the right, double team that D tackle. Snap the football. There we go. Now we get the chop block. I can throw it. Pass lead to the left. I get this comment a lot. If you guys don't know how to pass lead, you're just going to hold your stick to the left. So I said pass lead to the left. I'm holding my stick to the left. Right before I throw that ball, he's going to throw it out to the left a little bit, away from the safety, just opening it up for us. So let's go ahead, set it up a couple more times, and then we'll hop into another setup. All right. Again, cover 3. Now, this will get stopped if they put their outside corner there in a deep half. You have to recognize that, and you can't get baited. Just see that it's a cover 3. They can't adjust out of it. A good player will. That time I accidentally pass led up a little bit, so it's not going to be a touchdown, but you really want to pass lead to the outside. You can run this from either side, but just make sure your bunch is always on the wide side. If you run one play from the short side, that's a tell, and your opponent definitely will pick up on that, so be careful about that. Boom. You guys see, just put your fast receiver on the deep pass. There we go, Jimmy G. Classic Jimmy G with the overthrow right there, but you guys see it's wide open every play. Don't really need to go over it too much. That's going to be really the big play that you can hit out of this offense, but let's hop into another play. Now, next play is going to be, or the next setup is going to be at the same play. It's going to be this deep corner. Now, this is where this corner route is going to be very crucial in having route apprentice. George Kittle, stock. He's on the super slow corner route. Boom, you're just going to put him on that corner. Press D-pad to the right, and he's on a better route. Now, you can't actually beat cover 3 for a one-play touchdown. Now, this doesn't work too good in MUT anymore because of how fast the safeties are. So, this does work in regs, though, especially with the slower safeties. You can actually throw B sometimes. If he doesn't get bumped, which he won't, I could roll out, pass lead to the right, and he should get wide open. Jimmy G with the overthrow again. But you actually want to wait a little bit because their outside third will fall down on the corner route. So I prematurely threw that right there. That was my fault. But again, you're just putting RB on corner and leaving X on that deep end. I'm going to wait a little bit. Boom, he's going to fall down. I can pass lead to the right. Jimmy G sails it once again. That's why I can't throw on the run with him. But you guys see he's wide open. In MUT, the setup, like I said, doesn't really work because of how fast the safeties are. Also, sometimes Goodwin will get bumped. And if he gets bumped, you can't throw it. It's going to be too late. But I'm sure you've noticed that the outside third, since it defends the corner out so well, you actually, even if I try to run this is a setup that a lot of people try to run. You try to fit that corner in, and it can get open. But it can also, if they have a super good click on, they can actually pick it off. If they have zoned out, they can make it a little bit more contested. So something I like to do out of the deep corner is I like to put Goodwin on a streak, and I like to just motion hike him right there. This is just going to, oh my god. I just clicked the wrong button just because Kyle Juszczyk literally was on a delay fade and he just went immediately instead of blocking, so that was pretty cool. That sometimes will happen. I just noticed it over the last patch. Your delay fades just sometimes just run off like idiots, and it just makes no sense to me. But again, motion Goodwin out. You can motion hike or you can wait. Snap the ball here. And this is just going to open up your corner out. Look how open he is right there. I threw it way too early. That's my fault. This is going to be really difficult for me to throw just because I have Jimmy G. Sorry for throwing a pick there. But this is, like I said, you want to get out of the pocket, roll out corners. That's the name of the game. You guys see there, I forgot to motion out. I can throw this deep streak. But you really do want to motion him out every play. I'll show it a couple more times. I'm actually going to try to hit the in route now. When I've labbed this a little bit, in practice mode, for some reason, they actually do follow it a little bit. But there you go. There you go. George Kittle wide open. You want to roll out. You want to wait for that corner to come down. And he's eventually going to get open against cover 3. I did throw that pick. That was definitely 100% my fault. You can't throw it too early. Otherwise, they will jump it. So, again, this is a max protect setup. You're blocking 7. Thank you again, Kyle Juszczyk, for blocking nobody. But you guys see this deep in route. Now, if their user's going to go ahead and follow that corner route, then you will throw this in route every single time. It's basically a simple high-low read. He uses the corner. Oh, he's using the corner. Boom, let's throw this. For some reason, a curl flat is actually following a in route. That's great. Just great developing by EA right there. Let's set it up again, see if we can get it open. That never happens to me in online, so this is definitely just a practice mode thing. But you're going to roll out. Boom. Throw it, and he's wide open. You're going to get that aggressive diving catch. Jimmy G's going to overthrow once again. I'll see one last time if I can get it open before we hop into our next play. Roll out. Boom. Curl flat, literally falling down the field, but there you guys see. Wait for him to break off. He would have been way more open if that curl flat for some reason didn't match onto him, and you guys see he's wide open. So, with that being said, let's hop into our next play, wide receiver post. Now, right off the bat, this is a great play stock. Now, I've actually noticed for some reason I feel like in practice mode this crosser isn't as deep. That might just be me, but I feel like it isn't as deep. But you guys see, you can come out here, quick snap the crap out of the ball, and it's going to be very annoying, especially when people are adjusting to bunch. They're making a lot of adjustments. People just quick snap this. Oh, I'm in the wrong play. Chuck it up. This might happen a little bit throughout the video where I just forget to audible because I don't want to go to the main screen every play. That would take too long. But again, wide receiver post, you just come out in it, snap the ball immediately. I could take my drag, and I'll take my 9 yards every time. This is going to be super annoying. Like I said, when I defend bunch, I'm always making a lot of adjustments on defense because you do have to make a ton of adjustments. And when people just quick snap this, it's super annoying, especially if they send 7. You're going to get this guy wide open. There you guys see Marquise Goodwin. And it's really just a simple high-low. You drag the crosser, whatever one he's using, throw it, simple. So, like I said, he could run a sock. Next setup is just going to be a motion over slant. So just put the slot guy on a slant route, motion him to the left side, motion hike him, and let's say, boom, the crosser is defended. I'm going to low ball every time. No matter what, I'm low balling the slant. I'm never going to bullet it. I'm never going to lob it. Whenever I throw the slant, low ball it 100% of the time. Now this play really does depend on where you're user, so let's just pretend that he's using the crosser this play, as I'm in the wrong play once again. Cool. Like I said, this might happen a lot during the video, but like I was talking about, that really does depend on where your opponent's using. So he's using the crosser here, boom, slant, wide open, I'll take my 10, I'll take my 10. You can't get all your yards in one play. You can't be greedy, especially in bunch. People want to score in one play. That's not the way that you can run offense out of gun bunch. You have to be able to take your 7 yards. And when you take your 7 yards, it's just going to open it up. You guys see there, boom, another 10 yards. And if you have Slot-O-Matic on this player, he's going to catch that slant route every time, no matter what, even if I take a hit like I did that play. Now, another variation of that setup, you could go ahead and put A on an out route. This is not a max protect setup, but this will open up the slant a little bit further down the field as well. Boom. And you could also check it down to A if I wanted to. You guys see we dumped it down right there. Overall, a lot you can do with it. And let's say now he's going to use our slant route. He picks up on it. We've thrown it 2 times. Crosser, wide open. You guys see 30 yards, almost 30 yards down the field. Like I said, this is my favorite. This is definitely my go-to play when I run gun bunch, just because people, when they think gun bunch, they're expecting corner route, roll out, corner out. You're always rolling out to the bunch side. Nope. This is just going to completely mess up their defense. They're not going to know how to adjust to it, especially if you go to this play very often. Boom, again, throwing that over the top. Absolutely dominant. Now, let's go over, I have a couple more setups for this play. The next one, you're going to put RB on a zig route or a whip route. Now, this one's really just going to depend. Are they using the RB? Now, if you have Slot-O-Matic, like I said, this is going to be way better. But you're going to have to force them to man someone up on that zig route. And they're not going to want to, just because of how many other good plays are in bunch. So, boom. I could throw it to RB. Let's say I've thrown it 3 times. He's going to start using it, which would be insanely idiotic. But, boom, you can take your crosser. And this is just going to be really annoying. This is such a great check down play. The hook curls don't play it. A lot of zones don't play it. And you guys see, you still do have a chance to do something in the open field like George just did right there, picking up 15 yards on a simple zig. And if they're playing like crazy defense over the top, this zig route sometimes can get wide open, but you guys see I'm throwing it every time, picking up 5 no matter what, every single play. And you gotta make him respect this. If you have playmaker, you could also playmaker him up like this. Now George Kittle doesn't have that playmaker ability, but if he did, he would be going straight up the field. That's something super deadly, but that's sort of an advanced type of tip. But boom, let's say he uses it, B, absolutely wide open. And yeah, this is just a very simple setup. This is another one you can sort of go to the line, snap the ball, boom. Again, I'm picking up 5 yards a rip, 5 yards a rip, 5 yards a rip. And you're fine doing that. A lot of people don't think that you can just check down out of gun bunch, but you truly just can, especially with this setup. Boom, hitch, I playmaker it up a little, and that would get even more open. Unfortunately, he doesn't have that. But let's go over our last setup. Now, this setup's going to be basically just to open up our crossing route. Now, like I said, all you're going to do, or like I said, for some reason this crosser seems a little bit short to me. Might just be me, but for some reason I feel like it's deeper in Ultimate Team or online. Like I said, it could just be me. But what you're going to do here, you're just going to put RB on a corner route. More times than not, when they see that corner, they're going to user it. Boom, that's going to open up the crosser. If they're a good player, they will just run like stock cover 3 or a cover 3 cloud, and they will just use that crosser. But a lot of times they will just leave that crosser wide open, and it's going to beat pretty much every single coverage. You could also snap and throw it like right there. You guys see, Boom, he's getting wide open, especially if his user is lacking. But let's say you run it a couple times, you notice that he's following it every time. You can still roll out, hit this corner out, even against cover 3. I wait a little bit, I swerve catch. There's ways that you can catch the ball. So that's it for wide receiver post. Those are my only setups. Let's hop into our last pass play, or second to last pass play. I'm going to go over mesh post. Now this is a very underrated play out of the formation. I feel like it doesn't get enough love this year. A lot of people aren't running enough, but this one's not going to be a max protect setup. And the main route you're going to hit is going to be this wheel with Coleman. Now this is a setup. You're going to put X on an out and RB on a hitch route. You're also going to put B on a post. If you can get those extra hot routes, it's nice to put this guy on a post route. Unfortunately, I can't. It's fine. What I like to do is motion him out a couple steps and snap that and motion snap him. But you guys see the real route that you want to hit every rip is going to be this wheel route with Tevin Coleman. Now, make sure that you do low ball this. Make sure that you low ball it every single time you throw it, and then you're going to pass lead inside. Hold your left stick to the right. So again, here's a look at that. It's going to beat cover 3 and cover 2 very well, especially cover 3. If you want to get people out of cover 3, let's say he's running cover 3 deep halves, you can't run deep corner, you can't beat him down the field, and he's just bagging you. Boom, go to this, make him switch up his defense, and then you can run deep corner. Run this 2 times in a row, make him think about it, switch plays. But you guys see, he's never going to get defended, he's never going to get hit stick just because you're low balling. And the reason this works so well is just because of that out route, pulling down the zone. Very effective strategy. And you can do this out of a lot of sets. I actually had B wide open right there. Boom, able to hit it. And now, let's say he does use your wheel route. He's bagging that. You have B and RB. So let's say, boom, you have him a hitch. I'm going to throw this over the top and easily aggressive catch that in traffic. The way that you actually want to catch more times than not with this good one with this post route is you want to get that aggressive catch where he's actually diving. I'm sure a lot of you have seen that. You want to pass lead, boom, just like that, right atop the zones. Hitch route does a really good job of pulling those zones down, and it's truly just going to open up your offense a lot. Again, snap the ball. You can motion him out. You don't have to. Right in between the zones, especially if you're using that hook curl on the left or right, it's going to be wide open. Easily throw that dot. So very simple setup. It somewhat works against cover 2. The vert hook does a pretty good job of defending it, so don't get baited. Don't throw that. You guys see, boom, he's defended, but B is wide open. So also, if they blitz that vert hook, if they put him in any other zone, it can be wide open. So last play, halfback sweep. For halfback sweep, you want to motion this receiver out, motion snap him, and this is going to be very good against big dime 146, big dime 236 type of coverages. Also is pretty good against big nickel, but you really want to get to the outside. Usually when I find myself being forced to cut it upfield, I find that D end able to tackle me. Now this nickel normal is pretty good at bagging it. I wish I could audible to like $1 or something different. Let's just rock with this. Let's see if it works against this. Certain zones where, certain plays where they're in that middle of the field, it can get open. There you guys see, we're able to get to the outside. And like I said, when they're sending 7 at you, this also works against 3-4 odd, especially if they're sacking the box. Players like to pinch everybody, and you can really get to the outside, take advantage of them. There we just got 2 missed blocks, but if the block's set up, this can be very good. A very overpowered play. With that being said, let's hop into our last play. I'm going to go over very briefly out of the gun bunch formation. I mean, there are a couple of other plays I could go over. Stick, decent play. You got corner strike, very good against cover 2. Z spot, good against cover 2. There's a lot of different things I could go over, but I would be talking here for 2 hours. So let's just go over deep attack, the last play I want to go over. And this play is going to be good against cover 3 and cover 4, or cover 3, cover 2. This play is very good against every coverage. Alright, so the player I want to highlight is going to be Emmanuel Sanders here. And the setup I like to go to is putting RB on a corner, B on a hitch, boom, snap the ball, X is the target we want to hit, right over the middle of the field, wide open. Now, the curl flat actually did a good job of matching right there, but this post route truly does get open against tons of coverages. More times than not, he's going to follow that corner route. X just going to be wide open every rip. You're going to get that diving animation that you see Sanders getting every play, and he's just not going to drop it. Just going to get tackled, but it's 20-yard gain. Boom. He's going to follow RB. Let's say he follows a post route, makes some sort of adjustment as I get sacked. I was trying to throw that hitch right there, by the way. But definitely max protect out of this setup. Boom. I'm going to check down to B. He's wide open. I'll take my 10, 15 yards with Marquise Goodwin. And you really just, all these plays are going to make him respect different things. Wide receiver posts are going to make him respect the crosser from this player. Deep corner, you're going to respect the corner route. You're going to respect the in route. You're going to respect the one-play touchdown. Can't run cover 3. Boom. Mesh post. You have to respect the wheel route. You have to respect the running back. And just overall, literally different stuff. Deep attack. You have to respect this player on a deep post. There's so much that you have to worry about, and it's just an absolute nightmare defensively. That's why people like to go to match coverage, because it actually does do very good as we just get sacked once again. But let's try an audible to a cover 2. This should get open against cover 2, I believe. Again, I'm max protecting. Here's a look at that setup. Boom. Stepping up in the pocket. And you guys see we get that catch. Emmanuel Sanders dropped it. But if you have post flag elite, I recommend getting 2 receiver abilities, putting a post flag elite on one of these outside guys. You want post flag elite on the guy you're running the post route on, and he won't drop it like Sanders just dropped that. But that's pretty much it. If you want to, you could roll out, hit that corner out as well. But let's go ahead, hop into our next formation. Let's go to the near close flex. Now, I uploaded a full video on this. Make sure you guys go check that out if you haven't. That's going to go over some stuff that I'm not going to be talking about. I'm only going to go over a couple of my setups in here because I don't want to make the video 50 minutes long. Now, far tight slots, it's very similar to the near close flex. You guys see there's basically duplicate plays out of the formation. You could run far tight slots, but it's just a poor man's near close flex in my opinion. Let's go ahead, set up our audibles though. Flanker drive, post drag, and then Texas are what I like to go to. Let's go over post drag first. Oh shoot, I don't know if I have the good receiver right there. We might have to go back. But this is going to be cover 3 once again. What you're going to do, now this formation is going to be better if you have at least abilities on your tight end and one of these slot. I usually put it on the slot receiver. So abilities on him, you're good to go. So what I do when I come out in this play, I'm going to max protect, I'm going to put X on a corner route, and I'm going to put A on a hitch. You're going to also smart route that corner route. Now, again, does this play look familiar? It's literally deep corner without the comeback and a corner out instead. But this corner out actually works better. Now, again, I'm going to get this chop block, snap the ball. Boom, juice check picks that up. And B, absolutely wide open. He might even be more open than the other one. Now, this one's not going to work as good as deep corner just because I don't have Marquise Goodwin there. I forgot to sub him out. We got Samuel, so he's 6 less speed, give or take. But again, very simple play. This is the post drag play, probably my favorite play out of the form. And then if you can switch between near close flex and gun bunch, your opponent's just absolutely, you might as well quit at that point. But boom, look how much space there is. That's only a 92 speed receiver too, so just keep that in mind. Near close flex, such a difficult formation to defend because something you're going to want to do out of the formation is run fullback dive until they stop it. Now, I should have subbed in a running back there. That was my fault. But you typically want 2 running backs. I should have put Breida there. But you really want them to respect the run. So they're going to sell out on the run. They're going to maybe blitz everybody, send the dogs at you. And that's when you really attack them down the field. So once again, the setup X on a corner route, your tight end. Smart out that corner. Put A on a hitch. You don't have to smart out actually if you don't need to. It still will get open. Boom, from the pocket now. Still able to get that dot. Samuel drops it, but you guys see he's open. Overall, just a great play. You guys pretty much get the gist though. Let's go ahead, hop into our next play, flanker drive. Now this flanker drive is definitely one of my favorite plays, simply because you have this little but you have this little shorter wheel route that you saw out a mesh post. It's gonna get open once again against cover 3 specifically. You want to throw it a little bit earlier because it is fast developing, faster than the mesh post at least. But this is really what makes the play. Fortunately, I can't show you a better setup because I can't get this guy in a post. So pretend that A's on a post, and then maybe I put X on a trail, something like this. Simple high-low read. I'm going to low ball that early, and this one's going to be even better than the other one because you guys see I'm just snap throwing and I'm still picking up 8 yards. You could also put B on an out. I just prefer the flat a little bit. That's just me personally. But let's say I put A on a post. I might also put this player on a flat. This is the setup that I showed in the near close flex video. This player on a flat, this player on a flat, post, and lead this wheel route. Snap, throw it, boom, 10 yards. Snap, throw, 10 yards. And that's something that you want them to respect out of near close. If you're running the formation, you want them to respect this player right here out of the passing game. Another setup, or actually, let's go ahead, hop into our next play. Texas. The setup I like to go to out of this is going to be something like this. So boom, you got a post, you got a trail, you got a corner, you got a wheel. I like to motion this player out, and you don't have to motion him out, but boom, check down to my wheel, pick up a nice 5 yards. This is pretty much going to give you 2 high-low reads. Very simple setup. Again, RB on a wheel. I could put X on a flat even if I wanted to. I could still hit A here, and I could hit him down the field. You guys see, boom, wide open. I should have lowballed that. My fault, but still able to come down with the grab. Another setup you could do is X on a post route. I like to utilize that a lot. A on a streak and B on a slant. Max protect. Make a read. This is very similar to that wide receiver post. If he follows your post route, take your slant. If he follows your slant, take your post. If you also want to open up that player, you could maybe do something like this, or where you just open up that post route a little bit with that hitch. He's gonna fall down on it, and their post is wide open. Like I said, I'm not gonna spend too much time on this formation. If you want to know how to run this better, check out my video. I might link that in the description. Someone remind me if I don't. But yeah, I got more clear setups. I got a written version over there on that video. So if you want to check that out, you can. Last play is going to be fullback dive. I like to motion this outside receiver, and you guys see, just look at the blocks. That's slow Kyle Juszczyk, picking up just a huge gain of yard right there. And it's just going to be very difficult to stop. You really want your opponent to respect the fullback dive, and you just want to keep running it. If you can't stop it, keep on running it. No reason to pass if you're getting 5 yards of rip on your fullback dive. Don't be afraid to just run it every play. I know some of us have pride, but when I run this formation, I'm not afraid to run fullback dive 20-25 times a game if I'm getting 5 yards of carry, and I will do that. So don't give up on fullback dive. If he blows it up once, don't stay away from it the rest of the game. But because you guys see, sometimes I'm picking up 5 yards, sometimes I'm picking up 15 yards. If this was Matt Breida, I might take these for 6. And you're really going to get your opponent out of his big nickel over G. If you're just running fullback dive down his throat, you're going to get him out of his more comfortable formation. They obviously can't really run a big dime 1-4-6 because of how good the fullback dive is. So if they come out in 2-3-6, 1-4-6, you know what to do. Run fullback dive. Now this might just be because the offensive line is good, but you're going to pick up around this gain in any other mode. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this near close flex. Utilize that one play TD. Can't show you as many setups. You could also go with that maybe a rollout corner out of the slot. But like I said, you want slot apprentice on this guy. And if you're running near close flex over gun bunch, you also want tight end apprentice on Kittle, which we had, but we didn't have that slot apprentice, so I couldn't go over the full setups. In that near close flex video, I'm running Brady, so I can do every setup. Next form, I'm going to go over this one. very briefly because we're actually running low on this time. So they have the PAD play. I don't think they do. So we'll just go over wide trail, wide receiver out. You got off tackle. There's a lot of good plays out of this. I'm not going to go over all of them, but you do have a ton of different plays. Let's just go over these plays. So wide receiver out. All right. Now, I personally don't really go to this formation too much if I'm running bunch or near close. So I'm not going to go over it too much. I'm going to go over a couple of good setups. Here's the first one. You got B on a curl, X on a hitch, RB on that wheel route. Go ahead, snap the ball, and just check it down to A. A is going to be open against every coverage. You're going to force him to user that player. Another setup you go to, X on a hitch, B on a curl. You could actually throw this to RB and just swerve catch up the field like I did right there. That might take some practice if you've never swerve catched before, but that's a good setup to go to. It does give away that you're basically passing though, but you're going to basically force him to switch to a cover 2, because if he's going to sit in a cover 3, you will throw this all game. You guys see I'm picking up 15 with slow Kyle Juszczyk. If I have Breida there, I'm picking up potentially a touchdown. So like I said, you're forcing your opponent to respect that flat route, and you're forcing him to do something that he doesn't want to. So just continue to throw that if he's not going to defend it. Like I said, the other setup, RB on a wheel. If you have the extra audibles, I would put this guy on a corner, but we don't have that. Basically, for this play, wide receiver out, just make sure you have the post, make sure you have the hitch, and you can do whatever you want with the other plays. There we go. Kittle wide open on the sideline, making that catch. And yeah, it's pretty much it for wide receiver out. You obviously got dive, you got off tackle. Those are the main runs of the formation. Off tackle, very, very good run, especially if you have human joystick. This is an absolute pain if your opponent has human joystick, because you can just cut it back like in half a second. Super annoying, but that's besides the point. Mixing those two runs, I'm not going to go over them. They're basically just run plays. Next play, I want to... this is another type of a one-play touchdown. If you could get this guy on a corner out, you could get it for a one-play touchdown. I'm pretty sure I can actually get this if I put him on this comeback route. We will see. I'm sort of labbing on the fly here. We had him, but we get sacked. You guys see, as long as you have a deep post in the formation. We also had that FL drive where this guy's on the deep post. You could put him on a corner route. Again, let's see if I can get this open here. And basically all I'm doing is motioning out X, putting him on a comeback. Again, B's getting open. And yeah, simple cover 3 beater out of that formation. If you want to, you could just run it. Try and open up this corner route. Maybe run something like this. That's a pretty good setup that I like to go to. Take your wheel route. You could take your corner route. A lot of different things you can do out of that. And yeah, let's go ahead. Just hop into this wide trail now. Wide trail, it does beat cover 2. You guys guessed it. This play should destroy cover 2. The setup I like to go to, all you're going to do is motion B over here. You have a motion slant. You have a trail route. You can take either of them. And you can really just tear people apart now. This player, I've seen this player get open against cover 2. I'm not sure if there's a specific setup for that, but I like to just stick with this setup. He was actually getting bumped last time, but boom, sometimes against cover 2. Well, I'm not. Oh, why is the safety so far down right there? That was cover 3. I forgot to audible. My fault. But against cover 2, this should be getting open. Again, if I want to get even more open, I could put this player on an out route. I'm in the wrong play, of course. But wide trail, it's a very good play to mix in if you're running strong close. And yeah, there's just so many good passing plays. You can just bob between these formations, run different setups, do different things. And yeah, since I'm running it on the short side, it's not going to get open, but you see we still did catch it. Overall, just a good play to mix in. With that being said, let's hop into our last couple of forms. The I form tight. Now, I'm not going to go over this too much. This is basically just the red zone play I like to go to. So people are just coming out in their run D, and they're just trying to blow you up, running edge blitz. And this is pretty good. I'm pretty sure if I run to the right, it should be open. Yeah. So people run edge blitz, run stretch to the right. Now, I don't really run I form until I get to the red zone, or I run I form when I'm in like 3rd, 4th, and 1s. And usually when you run dive, you're guaranteed to get at least 1 yard no matter the run D. Even if they do run commit, you're still going to go ahead, at least be able to get 1 yard. Boom, 2 yards on a run commit. And yeah, you're just going to, it's just great in the red zone. Very difficult this year to pass in the red zone. So I like to go to I form. Just run dive 4 times and you'll pick up your 4 yards. Make sure that you run it to your quarterback dominant hand. So Jimmy G's a right hand QB. I'm running it to the right side. You guys noticed that when I ran it to the left side, it was a slower handoff animation. Run to the right, and you should be able to get 6. Use check just whiffed his block there, but yeah. You could replicate the same thing out of I form wing as well. So yeah, you can really just have your way with them in the red zone. That's the best thing I recommend. But you guys see, boom, taking this to the house with Tevin Coleman. And yeah, it's pretty much going to wrap up the video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well for some more Fire Madden 20 content in the future. And yeah, peace. I'm out of here.